Hello everyone, welcome to Mending. We are happy to have you. If you have missed any of our episodes or if this is the first one, please go check it out. Please go check out our previous episodes. Yeah. The last episode we were talking about death. Very interesting subject. I would encourage you to go and check it out. I will allow the person with me to introduce himself, then we shall move forward.
Hi everyone, it's good to be back here on the Mending podcast. My name is Dennis Mugume. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah. All right. So we have some questions on dating, and I think we're going to dive straight into it, and we're going to talk about these things. All right. Now, dating, I think, is a subject that interests almost everyone. I think the moment people become teenagers onwards, or even before they're teenagers. So let's dig a few things here and there, and we're going to start with information that we share when we are dating. What information is too much information when one is dating? I think one of the things personally, this is not even in regards to dating, but something that I have always had an issue with is probably when girls tell you things which you're like, am I supposed to hear that?
Yeah, that's like, a bit too much.
Hey, that's is it my place to hear that? Yeah, so what information is too much information? Or how much information is too much? Yeah.
Well, I think also depends on the person. If you're meeting for the first time ever, you have no background info. Because normally, it's hard to date someone out of the abstract. I think there is some sort of what you know of them. Maybe they sing at the church choir, they sing in the church choir, they're into ushering, and I don't know, wherever you met. I think that's the first thing first. Probably your first conversations are about how much you already know and how much of it is true. Because there's knowing too much about a person that's actually not true.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first bit of it. And then I think as things get serious, as you realize that maybe you want to actually think about marriage, like as of maybe next year or next month or next 6 months, I think that's when it's important to open up some personal things about someone. How much is too much depends on the degree of honesty also. Because there are things you'll know about a person without even asking them that are fairly obvious from your previous conversations. So I think it becomes too much when someone goes too fast. I've just met you in 2 weeks and you want to tell me about how, I don't know, your auntie or something about that's really, really too deep. Yeah. So I think that too much is on the degree of familiarity and how much you've come to know the person before they tell you what they are telling you. I think some people naturally don't have the sensitivity to know that this is a bit too early to describe or say these things. Then some also hide things. So it's a very tight balance in there.
So say if someone is not dating and people are just friends, is there information that people should not share? For example, let's say this is really awkward because someone probably saying, I went out to town and bought new bras.
Yeah. New bras, are we that tight? Are we that tight yet? And you're telling me this because I think also information needs to be given towards something. If I'm knowing these things about you, are they enough to tell me who you are, or they are just there to begin conversations and to see where it goes? And I think for me that is the danger there, that sometimes, giving brothers as an example feels like, okay, this is about to get sexual. You get what I mean? If it's not controlled. So I think again, why are you telling me what you're telling me? And is it working towards me knowing you better? Or it's working towards, just passing time, small talk, And then also, for me to say tell you something deep about myself, it means I'm welcoming you to my inner space. And if I haven't lived long enough with you to build the friendship to that degree, why are you describing that to me? It feels like you're over-assuming things. it's been said of church girls. Apparently, you meet her on a first conversation, and she's already seeing the Kwanjula there already. She's seeing the crates being brought out. And you're like, no, like it's So I think being wise.
Yeah.
In first of all being friends. What does the person like? What do they like? Things like those are helpful to set the atmosphere and the environment of disclosing more to the point of knowing the person better.
Yeah.
Then I imagine things like health complications.
Yeah.
I'm a sickler. I have HIV. I have asthma. I'm asthmatic. Are you telling me these things because you think I have a future with you, or are you hiding them because you think I'll run away if I find out?
Yeah.
So I think by the time someone opens up to you, who they are and what they deal with, maybe like mentally, health-wise, it should be in a place where they feel like it's safe to say these things.
Yeah.
But if they don't feel safe, then they can't open up even naturally. But also, even the person opening up must know that there has to be a journey that has been walked together before you say those kinds of things to someone.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've talked about, church girls, and when you talk to them, they're already seeing the Kwanjula. But well, they would argue that church brothers are slow.
Yeah.
Well,
I think if slow is judged in terms of how fast someone's willing to get married, marriage is a real cost, I think, to men.
True.
If you think about what it takes to meet your parents, number one, number two, meet your family, number three, get some things together for that meeting, financially prepared. So marriage is a real cost to the men, and I think the idea of being slow there is you want to be sure that what you're about to put money in is worth it, or it's something that you actually want to do for the rest of your life. And then also, the world is fast, but is it godly? You get what I mean? If we met twice, maybe last week, and now the third week we're in bed, that's too fast again.
Yeah.
I think it's better for us to slow down, build a friendship, know each other better, and then work towards something more stable, like a marriage. Versus first meeting, second meeting, third is when are the dates for the wedding.
Yeah.
You get that's now too fast.
Yeah. All right. Let's now get into church involvement and parental involvement.
Yeah.
Is there a place for it, and is there where it is too much? Like, what's the guidance around that church involvement and parental involvement?
Well, my guiding principle, thankfully I have the Bible open, is Ephesians 4:25. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. Each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor. I don't think your dating life is supposed to be a public affair. Those things of online in-laws. No, it's not supposed to be that. I think your pastor, if you're a Christian, your pastor, your spiritual leader, someone that you look up to give you guidance and stuff, needs to be in the know. A few friends who you're close to, the 3 or 4 in that circle who you can talk to about what's going on. The trouble with that church circles most of the time is that sometimes they're not that safe. You tell someone something and it becomes maybe a someone illustration. They are probably not safe, or even the idea of I don't know how you try to date several girls and they all said no, and then somehow you move on with this one and they're not happy about it, so they get back at you saying you told them that you like them. You're a player. So again, what is missing here is this verse, that we are not speaking truthfully to our neighbors. There is a lack of truth, because if something is true and I said it is true, it will turn out to be true.
Yeah.
If it's a lie and you're trying to accuse me or blackmail me, then it remains that way. Truth is its own defense. So I think church involvement is to the degree that they're enabling you guys to thrive as a couple, as a dating couple. But sometimes church involvement feels more or less like policing and more than it is encouraging. It feels more like we just meet for 2 hours and you're out. Or many of the couples in church circles tend to come to the pastors when there is trouble, when they are fighting, when they're about to break up. So I think from the very start, even the way how you chose that particular girl you're about to date or something, to ask her pastor about it. Does she have a pastor? If she's saved, if she's born again, she probably listens to somebody that over hers. So maybe ask her about, ask him about her, and maybe he will give you a go ahead or not. I think where it becomes dangerous for church circles also is when church circles want to make couple decisions.
Yeah.
Yet their role is supposed to be to support and advise.
Yeah.
You know, leave the facts on the table and allow the couple to choose their way. Versus, who is that? You're dating who? Josh. Break up with him. As your papa. I've told you to break up with him. That's no longer helpful. That is abuse.
Spiritual fathers
and what? Oh my, it's dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, as we're talking about parental involvement and things like that, we will definitely talk about accountability within the couple.
Yeah.
What does healthy accountability look like for a couple?
Yeah. I think one, my assumption, now here are my assumptions. You are both in the church. You are serving the Lord. You had roles towards your local body, the church, where you are serving Christ from. And I don't think that should change because you're now dating. All right?
Yeah.
So that needs to, because I think by the time you're serving in the church, there is supposed to be that level of accountability there. You see, because maybe you're a singer, you're an instrumentalist, you are an usher, you are in missions, you are a cell Bible study leader. There is supposed to be that degree of accountability already, naturally, as a Christian. Then as a couple, I think it looks like asking the hard questions. Are you walking right with the Lord? Are you how is your Bible study life? Are you reading the Bible? How would you describe your walk with the Lord? You know, things like those asked routinely help you put to the forefront what's important in this thing. And then also, I think it's helpful if the couple that you're looking to, if those who are dating for marriage are seeing a married couple already and they're talking through their things with them, versus there's a band of single brothers who are advising the Christian man dating this one. There's a bunch of single sisters who are advising this one. So by the time you know it, there's a lot of so-called accountability, but it's not. It's actually boys versus girls. You get. Yet if there's a married couple that is known in the church as married counselors and stuff, who are walking through with you in that thing that you're doing, then there's a lot more wisdom that comes from that versus each of you sharing your own opinions. I think getting together weekly to discuss opinions which are ignorant doesn't solve the problem. You're just two people who are discussing things that you don't know. Yeah. You know? Versus if you had a married couple there with you, which probably has a bit more wisdom over the years that they can give you. But again, accountability doesn't mean that the people around you keeping you accountable make the choices for you. Ultimately, you make the decisions, they give the information. Yeah.
All right. So say we have this Christian brother. They've been struggling probably with dishonesty and, you know, different other things. How then do you advise them to move forward with a relationship? Like, what's the way to go about it?
Yeah. I don't know that someone who is dealing with dishonesty needs to be dating in the first place. I think that's the first thing to deal with. Learning to tell the truth, to keep to your commitments. And again, my belief is if you're a Christian, you are a missionary. You are on mission. That means you're serving somewhere, actively building the kingdom. So skipping small appointments, like I'll be late by about an hour or so, or I can't make it for that program because I have another program. Like those simple things that are taken simply but actually mean big in the end. You get. If you can't be honest in those small matters, then I don't think you should be committing to someone's daughter to marry them, because you won't ultimately. So that is that. But also, if you're already dating, how much of your life is a lie to this person that you're dating?
Yeah.
You know, did you want to come up and say, I lied about A, B, C, D, and D, and from now on I want to come clean? Or is it, yeah, God understands, God forgives? I think sin is like a cancer. You know, if you do a cancer operation and they leave there like some small cancerous tissue, you come back here in 6 months and it will be worse.
Yes, yeah.
You've got to go all the way in and dig it all the way out.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like trying to like lift a log.
Yeah.
If you lifted a log by one side, the other side will still be in the ground. It will be hard to lift. It has to go all the way up for it to move all the way forward. So same thing with things like dishonesty, mistrust issues, insecurity issues. You know, there has to be a small Bible study group, a pastoral care group where those things are handled. So by the time the person comes, at least you tell them that I'm on a journey.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm on a journey. I haven't reached there yet. I am scared to tell the truth because I feel like at times if I tell it, you will leave. You get. But ultimately, if someone tells the truth honestly, there is some beauty in that at least someone didn't lie to me. They were honest with me and they told me the truth, and I made the decision on my own. Yeah.
All right. Now let's get into fighting. How do we handle disagreements? How do Christians handle this? You know, there's silent treatment. There's shouting. There's I don't know, going on social media and
ranting.
Men are trash.
Oh my.
How do you handle disagreements? You know, I feel like maybe our age mates or what I would call our peers, we have been taught to always, you know, I don't know if you've heard of this term of in relationships, there's the richer and the settler. So you never want to be like the richer. You want to be the settler, the one who they are always reaching out for and things like that. So many a times I feel like we have that, and then when we are dealing with disagreements, silent treatment, you want to be the settler. Let him come. So how do we navigate that?
Well, again, back to Ephesians 4, God's word. After telling us about truth and lies, we now go to verses 26. In your anger, do not sin. Don't let the sun go down while you are angry. Don't give the devil a foothold. All right. So this is the Bible's teaching about anger. The Bible didn't assume that you won't get angry. It said in your anger, meaning every Christian, every man somewhere, somehow gets angry. We get angry because there are things that we are defending that are being, threatened by this issue coming up. There are things we take seriously enough. If you never get angry, it means there is nothing that you take seriously enough. so anger is like that. So I think it is Timothy Keller who said something like, whenever you're angry, try and diffuse your anger. Try and sit back and ask, why am I angry? What is it that I'm protecting? And what is it that I'm defending? Is it worth defending? All right? So that's now the first bit. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. If you stay angry long enough and do nothing about it, it can turn into bitterness. So I think there is wisdom in stepping back and thinking through why you're angry, and then coming back and trying to speak about what's making you angry without shouting. It's a discipline, actually. It is something that you do as a man to clarify issues. The idea here is healing more than getting back at someone. And if that is the idea, then it means the devil won't take a foothold in your life. to make your anger into bitterness and saying things like men are trash or girls are, that B word. Yeah, so I think we all have different personalities and temperaments and stuff, but what should not be missing is how can we redeem our anger for good, as a place to discuss the real issues. Because again, anger comes from our convictions. Why are we deeply convicted about this, and why isn't the person that we love seeing the same thing that we are seeing? And then how can we get them to see it in a way that is gentle and compassionate, without being abrasive and combative and condescending? There are people who are angry, and the way they speak, it's like, you're a child. They talk down on you. And there are some who just run away. So I think there is like three options. Some engage, let's discuss this. Some escape, and then some deny. So it is hurting you on the inside, but you're not saying anything because Munang, I want to keep the peace. The girl is still new. I want to I don't want to like lose her. So I think there is wisdom in godly engagement. Why are we angry? And what are the points? And that bit where you separate the point of your anger from the emotion of your anger. At times we are overwhelmed by emotion and lose the point. That story told of guys who, I think this guy hired a camel with his rider to take them through the desert. So it's very hot in the heat of the desert. The sun is out. So the guy who hired the camel and the rider said, the shadow of the camel belongs to me because I hired you and everything about you. This guy says, I am the owner of the camel, and therefore I have a right to use the shadow. Because you just hired me to take you through, not my shadow. Before you know it, they are fighting. They fight, and they're all punches and nosebleeds and injuries. When they were done fighting, the camel had gone away.
It had challenged
them to fight. So at times we get caught in the emotion of the moment and lose the very substance of why we are fighting. So I think whenever we are angry, it's wisdom to just pause and diffuse the anger. Why are you angry? And then in a godly way, in a gentle way, discuss the points of your anger, not the emotions. Because emotions are like a spectrum, like you can't exactly pinpoint and say this is the emotion I'm feeling. It's a mixture of anger. The guys who laugh when they're angry, even. So you're angry but you're laughing.
Yeah.
But how are you laughing when you're angry?
When you're angry,
some of us can't even say anything. We just cry almost. You get so distinguishing between the emotion of the anger and the point of the anger is a very big thing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching our episodes. If you have enjoyed, if you want to comment, please comment. If you have any questions, please send them in. Kindly share as widely as you can. Subscribe, like. It will help us be more visible to other people. If you would want to make a contribution to us, because it takes money to run some of these things, you can reach out to us. You can send a message. There will be an email that will be attached to this video. You can send an email to us, and then we shall respond. Till next time, we look forward to seeing you again. See you.